Yeah, so right around here, kind of near the Wigwam Tavern, is where I probably made one of the biggest mistakes of my life. I was going through a lot. I was angry about a lot of different things. I didn't want to be who I was. And I made a lot of different mistakes to get me to that point. And I ended up hurting someone I cared a lot about by putting her name in a song and freestyling a line that I shouldn't have. And kind of over exaggerating what we really were, kind of over exaggerated that we were hooking up more than we were, but we weren't. It was just one of those things where I think we both kind of wanted to keep in contact with each other just in case, maybe I got my life figured out in the future and we're both single, maybe we could talk again and see each other. But I guess I really was worried about how my life would be creating music when I never really wanted to or thought I should. I kind of just wanted to have a normal life, and my legal problems ended up catching up with me where I just started making music and just kind of having fun with it because I didn't know what my future would bring. So I thought, I need to do something independently where like a corporation or job can't, reject me. And I was partying a lot and doing a bunch of stuff, and I was on kind of like probation, in the dorms. And there ended up being a fire drill, and I was sleeping and I didn't want to go out right away because I was kind of annoyed. I was just in my room, so I was kind of annoyed there was a fire drill going on. But then I eventually walked downstairs and went outside, and I guess that was enough to kick me out of the dorms, I guess. And I went and pleaded my case to the people and begged them not to kick me out and stuff. But because I was already causing a lot of trouble, that's what they ended up doing. So then I was afraid of being homeless. I got drunk and mad and made a kill shot with the graphic of bullseye on the chancellor. And it was kind of more like, in my head, is like, yeah, I knew it was risky. Like, I thought the most I would get is like, a misdemeanor, like criminal threats or something. But they ended up giving me a terroristic threat for that, and I ended up doing 6 months in jail and having like 4 months on house arrest, and got out because of COVID. And honestly, I got through that, on my own. But my biggest regret is hurting someone that I cared a lot about, and I shouldn't have done that because I don't know how that affected her life. I don't know how that affected her friendships and relationships. I don't know how that affected her family. And You know, I spent a decent amount of time like thinking about that in jail and stuff like that, but you know, I don't know what she really went through, and I'm sorry for saying that line and kind of misrepresenting what we were to everyone, so no one really knew the truth and maybe thought she was lying or something like that. You know, it wasn't really like that, really. I wish I could take it back. I wish I could do it over, but I can't, you know. So I guess I gotta keep moving forward, you know. I'm sorry for scaring people with that image, you know. I didn't say like any threats on the song. I didn't say I'd do anything. It was more one of those things I thought I could get away with a metaphor of an image, you know, saying like I'm taking shots at you at University of Eau Claire and stuff like that, like metaphorically taking shots at someone, you know, not literally, you know, making a threat that I'm gonna do that, you know. But that's not what the legal system thought. And I'm sorry, Amy Sasha, for getting involved in that, and I'm sorry for getting mad at you that one night and probably scaring you, driving home drunk and texting you certain things. Like, I was mad about so many other things. I wasn't mad at you. Like, it was one of those things where I felt alone. I felt scared. I didn't know what my future is gonna look like and what was gonna happen. So much things were happening. Like, people thought I was this awesome fucking person, and I was going through so much and I wasn't happy, you know. But at this point, you know, it's getting a little better, and I'm more accepting of my path forward in life and doing stuff like making music and being on social media and stuff like that, because I never really want to do that. I want to kind of live my own life, you know. I don't want people to judge me for things they see on the internet when they don't know me in person. Like, when you get to know me in person, I can actually be a really cool person. I can be a really cool friend. I can be good to be around, you know. It's just I don't trust a lot of people because it always just becomes an issue, you know. But yeah, I'm sorry, Amy Sasha, and I hope eventually you do forgive me for what I did, because, you know, it was one of those things where even though we weren't talking like every day, it was one of those things where I cared about you and I wanted to at least keep in contact with you and keep your number to just see if you're doing good, you know?